NXT fashion, the week after a takeover is very slim, but still exciting because it is NXT.
Yeah.
We mostly had a lot of fallout from NXT TakeOver War Games, but we did have a couple matches. A couple of the extra things that were there, a lot of post-match interviews like Lars Sullivan.
Who looked a little like thunderstruck. A little starstruck.
The way his character is so... I feel like this is what WWE wanted Mike Knox's character to be. Because he's just
maybe
big, he's very eloquent in his speaking.
Uh-huh.
And so he had a lot of very great vocabulary words in his promo, which essentially just rounded out to...
The whole locker room's on notice.
Yeah, like, if anyone in the locker room gets in his way, he's going to be the one to destroy them. He just stared at his hands the whole time. So...
Yeah, apparently he's been in, like, the WWE developmental system for, like, 3 years.
Well, you know what? Better late than never.
Yeah.
We had Ember, who was extremely excited to finally be the NXT Women's Champion, and says that despite how hard it has been to get the belt, it's going to be a lot harder for anyone else to take it off of her.
Till she loses it next week.
Oh, that's rough. Speaking of rough, Drew is upset with himself and the unfortunate injury. We don't have an update, but he's hoping for the best, and that he will somewhere down the line get a chance to go after, whether it be Andrade Cien Almas or whoever else it might be. He will be going back after the NXT Championship.
Lesnar.
Don't even fucking joke about that bullshit. You keep Brock the fuck away from NXT. I trust Triple H. We also found out that next week, especially after an altercation prior to TakeOver, or actually, I guess this was at Full Sail, so it was probably before NXT. The Street Profits are going to have another tag team match against Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss, after Tino and Riddick shut their music off and stopped them partying with fans. They were none too happy about that, but we are going to get another match next week, as well as Kairi Sane versus Peyton Royce one-on-one. Both ladies probably looking to get a little bit of a chance to be the first to face Ember Moon one-on-one for the NXT Women's Championship. And finally, we saw Sanity and the Undisputed Era walking away from the carnage that was War Games. No words from Sanity. It was just black and white because Alexander Wolf was covered in blood. But Adam Cole reassuring both Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly that with their win, they made everyone realize that they run NXT. This is their era. But with that being said, we had two fantastic matches. The first was Ruby Riott versus Sonya Deville. Of course, by now you probably know that both of them are now on the main roster on different shows. But their last little soiree in NXT was pretty fucking intense. Probably one of my favorite Sonya Deville matches. I really enjoy the MMA training that she has. She uses it very well, and it doesn't seem like it's forced into the match. I'm not one to say that I love MMA gimmicks in professional wrestling, but I think Sonya Deville does a really good combination of both MMA and pro wrestling. She picks her spots, which is good.
Speaking of both of these women getting called up,
yes,
there's a potential rumor as to why all of a sudden at random there's 5 NXT women all called up to the main roster all simultaneously.
Potential ladies Royal Rumble.
Yes.
It is that time of year to start talking about the Royal Rumble, so I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. But yeah, Ruby Riott, Sonya Deville having a fantastic match. Sonya focusing on the ankle of Ruby Riott, which was why Ruby had to take a couple of weeks off. And then at a few points, the commentary even questioning whether or not she came back a little too soon. But Sonya ends up transitioning from a triangle into a knee bar. Ruby's able to survive the knee bar, which doesn't sit well with Sonya Deville. She gets all up in the referee's face, and that is enough time for Ruby to get up to her feet despite stumbling around and hit her Pele kick, and she defeats Sonya Deville in their last one-on-one match on NXT. So I'm going to say, since it happened on the weekend, SmackDown tied it up. Because Ruby beat Sonya. So it's Survivor Series weekend. So.
Sure.
Anyway, then in our main event, Pete Dunne defended the United Kingdom Championship against Johnny Gargano.
And the match was great.
Of course.
Not that we expected it
Yeah.
to be different than great.
Yeah, these are two of those guys that, like, you kind of say that I don't think they could have a bad match if they tried. And if they were trying, they failed miserably because the match was fantastic. Lots of really great back and forth. Both of them hitting, all their greatest hits essentially.
Yeah.
Literally.
The best ofs.
Yeah, the best ofs, and the NXT crowd just fucking eating it up too. Really good. Interesting usage of the escape out of the Gargano escape, with Pete Dunne actually taking his mouth guard out and biting the fingers of Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
And then Johnny realizing, oh, his mouth guard's not in. I should kick him in the face. That whole situation, it was a very interesting, realization that Johnny had. He's like, oh, mouth guard, unprotected, kick him in the face. Not enough to beat Pete Dunne. So Johnny had a few more good strikes, and then unfortunately, as per usual with babyfaces, they try to go to the well one too many times. He'd already hit the slingshot spear, so he tried for it again. He got a forearm to the face for his troubles, and then got hit with the bitter end, and Pete Dunne is still the United Kingdom champion.
Also, another quick note to tie into the woman call-up.
Yes.
Since this did the SmackDown one specifically, because that was all 3 NXT women.
Yes.
Including Ruby Riott, who was on this edition of NXT. The reason they attacked Becky Lynch is because she's going to be taking time off alongside The Miz, hence why he dropped the Intercontinental title. They're both going to be starring in the next Marine installment.
Oh, okay. Well, and I know Miz. I guess it's coming on now. I don't know when he shot it, but he did another real world road rules kind of competition thing. I've seen the previews for that kind of floating around. So, all right, cool. I still haven't seen the last Marine movie with Bo and Curtis and Naomi and
Heath.
I think Heath might have been in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but The Miz does good in the Marine movies.
Yeah.
Better than John Cena. But with that being said, that is it for NXT. No new news on Lucha Underground Season 4, but we'll let you know as soon as we do have some. But for now, guys, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Click those links down below, like a podcast.
It's the SoundCloud
And Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's Reasonable W.
Like wrestling! Where this weekend there will be a brand new unboxing where you can see all of our cool face paint stuff.
Also, quick shout out to Kamala, who was recently admitted to the hospital for emergency surgery. Was on life support. Just got word that he was recently taken off of life support and can breathe for himself.
Oh, good.
Not out of the woods yet, but recovering slowly. Shout out to him because he is involved in the face paint theme box that you'll see over there.
Kamala's been through some shit.
Yeah,
so get well soon, sir. Hope all is well. So check that out once it's up. It should be up this weekend. And you can go back and check out our NXT review, our Survivor Series review, and all the other videos. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at, episode 181.
Next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.